Championship Season 9. We are here in the French Grand Prix at Paul Ricard. We are about to, we're about to get into qualifying, but of course, the first minute qualifying session, we would observe a minute's silence for, of course, the legend that is Murray Walker that passed away at the age of 97. He had a very good innings, didn't he? But still, it's a very sad time for any F1 fan. Is that growing up, you would have heard the voice that was Murray Walker. Like, it was synonymous to more of my childhood, especially. I'm sure that everyone else's childhood as well. Who started watching F1 at such a young age. Then, goodness me, it was yeah, he was an absolute hero of mine, really. And I think he was the main reason I got into Formula 1 in the first place, because he made everything sound amazing, didn't he? Including there was a very funny interview with Jeremy Clarkson where he was commentating over a snooker game as well, which was absolutely pure TV gold, wasn't it? But yes, as we get ready for qualifying now, then we are going to observe the minute silence, which is coming up in just a few minutes. This loading screen is taking longer than normal, but now we will observe the minute silence for Murray Walker, who sadly passed away over the weekend. Right then, of course, that was the minute silence for Murray Walker, who unfortunately passed away on the weekend. Age 97, wasn't he? As I mentioned already, he had a very good innings, didn't he? So, but still, it's kind of like you've lost one of your. It's a big childhood memory that's gone, really, with Murray Walker. He's had some legendary, absolutely legendary moments as well in Formula One. So, yeah, it is quite sad, really is indeed. But as we're now back, as we're now ready to get going then for the start of the French Grand Prix, then of course here in Paul Ricard, probably not the most exciting track in the world, is it? But nevertheless, we would have. Oh goodness me! I'll just make sure that I unmuted myself. Then. Right then, yeah, we've got cars out on the track now as well. Then, of course, we will be talking about Murray Walker, I think, a bit later on as well, because of course we shall. As I've already mentioned, then, of course, the legend of Formula One. He's the main reason why I got into Formula One. Him and Martin Brundle were fantastic. I think they're my favourite commentary to pairing Martin Brundle and Murray Walker for between '97 and 2001. Brilliant. Those 4 years was one of my best 4 years of my life. It really was indeed. Right, let's go for the drivers and the constructors, shall we? And here it is then. So as I'm just taking a look, then I think that we had a McLaren come out first, didn't we? It was Mason who started us off, and we've got two DRS zones around here, but we'll talk more about the track in just a jiffy. In the Drivers' Championship, Steve is extending his lead after an incredible drive in Russia. Magnificent from Steve, wasn't it? T. Samuelson hasn't got a Grand Prix win in IRC this season, incredibly, isn't it? The double world champion. Frisky in third position. Fourth position is Matt. Frisky and Matt got a bit too close for comfort last time out, didn't they, in France? And unfortunately, Mason was the innocent bystander, wasn't he, in the McLaren? Fifth position, Timmy. Sixth is Roscoe. Fizzy has moved up 2 positions up to 7th, and with Asdog and Maxi 8th and 9th, and 10th in this, and a 10th, completing the top 10 is Hogg as well. Another big move for us for Mason last time. I had a great race in Russia. Now, can he capitalise? Unfortunately, dropping down a couple position is Sprint, Penny and Brown. In the constructor standings, it is Red Bull leading the way, 23 points in front of the defending Constructors World Champions AlphaTauri, who are 23 points further back. Mercedes are in third position, 33 points away. Fourth is Racing Point. Alfa Romeo have got in front of Renault, 5th and 6th. Ferrari is 7th. McLaren we've got on screen at 8th. Williams are in 9th position, and 10th position is the Haas team then. In the Mika Hakkinen trophy, it is Frisky Biscuit leading the way, but because I think he's got a podium, he will not be involved in that anymore, as far as my understanding is. But Double using all of his experience and his prowess to be second in that championship at the moment, and Double has gone out fast, as then closely followed by Mason's gone faster still then as they come across the line. Good stuff indeed then, is that they are coming through thick and fast at the moment then. Brown is on a lap at the moment, and Rusticks in third position, 2 points away from Double. Val in fourth position, Hogg and Mason 5th and 6th, both McLaren duos. Penny in 7th position, Brown is 8th, PB 9th, 10th is Gaz, JJ 11th, and 12th is Dawson. So there we go then, and I've done all my standings, and good stuff indeed then. Is I have I've got to give myself a South high five for that, because yeah, I'm very impressed with that, because I think last week I completely forgot to read out the McHakkinen trophy, which is absolutely disgraceful by me. It really is indeed. Sprint, evening legend, good evening Sprint. You've also got Michael saying evening Sean, good evening Frisky, hope you're well. George Cresswell, yeah boy, Shauno in the house, said I am in the house. Well technically with a flat, but I suppose that's just technicalities and all that kind of jazz, but yes, I am in the house then. JJ in second position, we got a Racing Point coming across the line as well. Asdog's gone second fast as they cannot. Mason is just in front by 4,000 a second at the moment. Michael Preston's ain't got 2 podiums this season, so as agreed, I don't score points there anymore in the case of fairness. And we've also got Steve saying evening beautiful. And so I think that Steve's already had a bit on the whiskey, he said, because he must have those beer goggles on. It's into the pits, comes up Val. No then, it's Mason coming in the pits. Val's gone second fastest. Timmy has gone fastest so far in the in this car park of a course, and it really is indeed that. Of course, we've got a lot of blue and red lines on the outside. That course, that is to stop the car spinning, because this is quite a very good test track, isn't it? And not a very good race track. Well, it isn't in the real world of Formula 1. The 2 races around here have been pretty, well, uneventful to say the least, really. But I think the 2 races, but I think the one of the races there, I think it was the Euros, wasn't it, or something like that. When so I was having an absolute ball when England were playing that day. So luckily, I did record it, but luckily I don't think I missed a doozy of a live race. And then I think I can't remember the Euro, the 2019 one very well at all. Into the pits comes Fizzy. Then he is at the slowest of the times runners that are so far in the Mercedes, as he is just into the pit lane now, where it sticks out on circuit. But in the terms of league races around here, this is a cracking race. It really is, and indeed then, because it has its own weather system around here, doesn't it? You can see it's a beautiful day here at the moment in Paul Ricard. As you can see, the heat hazes have just danced its way off the tarmac. But are we expecting rain? I have no earthly idea, but we seem to get a lot of rain, don't we, around Paul Ricard? Whether it's at the beginning or the end of the race, we seem to get a sprinkling of the wet stuff fed. Maxi is also here tonight as well. Maxi has only raced so far, I think, in 4 Grand Prix this season. This will be his 5th Grand Prix. He has missed over half the races so far, Maxi has, so hopefully he can have a bit of a good run in then for the remainder of the season. He's currently 9th in the championship, which is not where he wants to be. A man who was leading the championship for most of the way up until the crucial part, unfortunately, where T-Sammy overhauled him in terms of points right at the very end there. But at the moment, Steve's leading the championship as it stands at the moment. We have a great drive in Russia as well. He bottled it. He binned it. He qualified too. That's what I get for reading the chat, you see. But he binned it in qualifying too, didn't he, when he got on the power too early in turn 3? But it doesn't matter about that, because all that matters to Steve is that he won the race, and he got the full 25 points, didn't he? So good stuff indeed, definitely, and extended his lead in the championship. So at the moment, we still have T. Sammy without a Grand Prix win this season. Very competitive indeed. That Frisky has just informed me that there's no rain at all in this race set. Incredible stuff, then. I wonder if there might be in a bit. He hasn't said about qualifying, but in the race, and we are not expecting any rain at all. What does that mean about strategy, I hear you ask then? Well, this is quite a brutal race on the old tyres. So soft tyres, I don't think will be the premium tyre to be on for the Grand Prix. Perhaps it might have to be the mediums to hard tyres then. Soft tyres if you haven't got many laps left in the race, but I can't see anyone really wanting to start on the soft tyres. But then again, what do I know? I'm just a guy that sits up here in the commentary box really, and I don't know from my head, from my tail kind of thing. Sticks coming out of the final turn, then Rizzo Sticks then out of the final turn, and two DRSs around here on the start finish straight. Rizzo Sticks goes across the line. He goes 6 fast about. Good time indeed. Then we got and that wasn't snow, by the way. I think that's just a bit of pollen, isn't it, coming off of the old fields, isn't it? Up yonder. Here comes Maxi then, of course. Maxi, who's been on pole position twice so far this season. So in his 4 attempts so far, he's got a 50% success rate in qualifying. Max has new helmet as well. It comes across the line for the Ferrari, and he goes 7 fastest at the moment. Max does a 10th of a second behind Rizzo, the former Ferrari driver and his former teammate as well. So, Rizzo's not very much not on the pace as of yet, is he? Petty's about to start his lap now, and he has already done a lap then, so this is second bite of the cherry, who hasn't set a time just yet. We've got Roscoe, who's just started a lap now. Steve is out on circuit, so is Frisky as well. Hogg hasn't started a lap, nor is T-Sammy, and nor has PB, but don't expect PB to be out in qualifying, because he doesn't like qualifying, by the looks of it. Penny sporting the black helmet for Murray Walker, so we one is just thinking about some of the great lines of Murray Walker. Of course, I think one of them is nothing's wrong in the car except it's on fire. I think that was a quote from the '96 Argentinian Grand Prix, wasn't it? Where Pedro de Liza's Liche went up in a plume of fire, didn't it? A plume of flames. Goodness me, it was very hot, wasn't it? That race in Argentina. I gotta say, I think there was only 4 Grand Prix in Argentina, wasn't there? Buenos Aires, I should say, between '95 and '98 before it was dropped. Then it was very much like an oversized go-kart track, really. It wasn't a favourite among the drivers, but I quite enjoyed driving it actually, and I hated it when I was a youngster driving around it. Goodness me, I think when driving on the '95 and '97 games on it, it was probably the worst. I hated it. I really didn't like racing on the track at all, and the well, Penny's completely gone off the track there. Luckily, there's no barriers to hit out there. But Penny there, he's abandoned his time, and so I'm wondering then if he just didn't feel like he was getting enough out of the car then. But yeah, going back when it's ours then. So I don't know. I reckon it'd be an interesting one to put back on the calendar, I suppose. But I don't know. I don't think everyone will agree with me on that one. Mason's left the session. Hopefully he'll come back in pronto. Timmy is now in second position, and here is the championship leader, LSD, coming down the back straight. And there is DRS just before that part of the circuit. Of course, in between 7 and 8. And luckily around here, the corners are boarded, aren't they, with numbers around them, so it makes it slightly easier to tell where we are on the circuit then. But Steve then coming up into the final couple of corners as well. So we're on board with Steve, turn 14 and now into 15 as well. Mason's back in the session. Whereas Mason currently in the standings, he is 6th fastest on this day in history. Mason is. He's had a very good season, I think, in terms of qualifying trim. If he can get his race, sorted, I think he is he might be one of the most improved drivers of the season. He might be winning that award. He'll certainly be getting my vote then. As Steve there is just disappeared. There he is, playing a bit of hide and seek there with a spectator. He is first at the moment, and a couple of tenths in front of everyone else at the moment. So he's got quite a nice, handsome advantage thus far. Frisky is just in front of T7 and but Fizzy there is I think having a more scenic route around Paul Ricard, isn't he? And just as we are coming up into turn number 10 and 11, and as Sprint's asking, am I missing him, Sean? Indeed I am. I want to see 2 Renaults here in France. And of course, unfortunately, Sprint's only raced in 2 Grand Prix thus this season, hasn't he? Which is absolutely criminal, isn't it, to say the least. So hopefully a Sprint then can get himself back in action sooner or rather than later then. But of course he does, I think at the moment then Sprint does have to do, unfortunately he has to work. I'm sure he'd rather be doing this than working then. But as Frisky goes up third fastest at the moment, also sporting the black helmet. But yeah, Sprint then as he had a very good Australian Grand Prix. I think the only race he participated in Sprint was the Vietnam Grand Prix as well. So in the 2 races he's participated in, he has a 100% record for scoring points then, which is good stuff indeed then. It's a shame that Sprint's not in the race, but hopefully we will see him in more action later on in the season as well. But T Sammy goes third fast at the moment, just a whisker behind Timmy, but he is about 4 tenths of a second away from the benchmark of the season, which is Steve, hasn't he? Goodness me, I think the Steve's in a league of his own at the moment, isn't he? Incredible stuff indeed. Well, Springs just said, hopefully 3 weeks he'll be back in action. That is absolutely fantastic, isn't it? And I hear, where are we going to be in 3 weeks then? Well, I think we are going to be in the Austrian Grand Prix, which will be round 13 of the World Championship. And I'm not sure whether Sprint likes or doesn't like that circuit, but I love that circuit because, again, it's got its own very own weather system, hasn't it? We probably will expect rain in the Styrian Mountains, won't we? The Styria Mountains in Austria as well. Now, I quite like the Austria circuit. It's simple but difficult. Back on board the double world champion at the moment, which is T Sammy, and I gotta say the argument has been this season, hasn't it? Really, well, in an argument, really, so it's probably more of a discussion. But the argument's been: is T Sammy behind his top game, or is it Steve who is just magnificently brilliant this season? And not just Steve, but I mean the other competitors as well, because we have had a very competitive season thus far. So I don't think it's T Sammy who's he is. I feel that T Sammy is not on top form in terms of his performance, but he is not far from it. But it's just that the other drivers have really caught up this season, haven't they? It's a very competitive season because we've had 5 drivers win a Grand Prix so far this season. Absolutely ridiculous numbers, isn't it? Goodness me, it feels like we're back in 2012. Yes, a lot of drivers have won. We've had Steve, who's very much been on top perch, hasn't he? More often than not, we've had Maxi who's won a race. Frisky's won a race as well. Matt and Roscoe has also won as well. Then 5 drivers. Then Gaz. Then gotta say, he looked like a very excited puppy there, doesn't it? That back end was wagging from left to right, wasn't he? Unfortunately, he's not going to start off that lap too hard. Double then out on circuit as well as he cannonballs down into turn 1 and 2 now. Double is currently safe at the moment, but we got Fizzy who is back out on circuit. I'm expecting Fizzy to be a lot stronger on his second time run, because of that 30, I don't think is Frisky's retired from the session there. I don't think that time now, 31.8, is representative of Fizzy's true potential around here. So, yes, I think that he's definitely been doing a Mercedes, hasn't he? I've thrown on all the sandbags as well. And talking of sandbags, of course, we had the testing in Bahrain, finished in it, the one and only test set. I'm not sure what you guys think of that then, but I quite liked only having one test, really, because it gives teams a very limited amount of time. Matt has just gone into second fastest then. We're watching his teammate double at the moment, and we're more concerned about the guys at the bottom who are trying to fight their way to get out of qualifying one. Going back to the actual Formula 1 world, yes. So I quite liked only having one season, one event to test then, because I think that it really puts an unknown, doesn't it, going into Bahrain in just over a week's time as well. Of course, it'll be this time next week that I'll be getting very much amped up then for the first practice session of the season. Loving that entry all indeed. And of course, Drive to Survive is also up tomorrow as well on Netflix, if anyone's got that as well. And I quite like I gotta say, I quite like Drive to Survive. That is gonna really very much be filling my weekend, that's for sure. Here's Double. What is he going to be doing? He's improved by half a second, and he has got himself well out of that danger zone at the moment. And good 17. Penny is in the danger zone. He is 14 for the moment. And JJ is going to not come out by the looks then. So JJ's got it all to do then. We've got Fizzy coming down the back straight as well. I'm going to stick with Penny for the minute. Rizstick's also out on circuit as well. But Penny, we're on board then with Penny. He's coming down the back straight as Frisky is saying, well, that's his qualifying done. Is unfortunately he was a very naughty boy in Russia, wasn't he? There's a couple of dive bombs at the end, wasn't there? The Russian Grand Prix, which I quite enjoyed personally, but there's a double there. Has had some issues then, but he should be safely through, I feel. Of course, there was some shenanigans going on at the end of the race, which I quite enjoyed. Really, I thought it was a fantastic end to the race. But of course, there it might have been a bit over the limit, and it was a judged to be a bit over the limit for the stewards and for the drivers in question as well. Penny coming out to the line then, as there's a couple of forced lines around here, isn't there? I think it's that one there which we got to be concerned by. Penny is lowered the benchmark for him, so he's now in 14th position there. Gaz has abandoned his time then, so what about Fizzy comes across the line, and Fizzy is out of qualifying. Goodness me, that is not what I was expecting now. Maybe I was a bit too chilled on Fizzy, but he may not have had the sandbags on at all. That is, goodness me. Fizzy is out of qualifying, 7/10 of a second behind Gas. What is going on with Fizzy here tonight? Well, that is not what I was putting down as one of my expectees to be out of qualifying, but that is certainly proved to be the case, and the checker flag has fallen in his qualifying session, and Fizzy is going to be 17th on the grid. Then he's got a lot of work to do in the in the rest of this event then, if he wants to get any points then. Down in 17th position then, and that is an absolute horror show, isn't it, for the Mercedes driver who got his first podium of the season last time out in Russia as well then. So Fizzy would like to have really just built on that momentum, but that is not going to be the case in qualifying. But luckily for Fizzy and for you guys at home, it is all about the race, isn't it? Of course, that's what you're all here for, isn't it? As much as we do enjoy the cars at the absolute limit, going around at this track there and seeing what they can find on the ultimate limit of the cars, and we all just enjoy the wheel-to-wheel action of the race, don't we? Because I think that's what we're mainly here for. But having said that, I do quite enjoy qualifying as well. Fizzy ain't going to be enjoying qualifying at the moment, and then that's Frisky also not going to be enjoying either. Penny is finding a lot of time in that Haas. He's moved up to 12th now. Good stuff indeed there for Penny. He is through into qualifying to T Sammy. Evening, Sean. Good evening, T Sammy. The double world champion then, as of course he's in full position. But T Sammy, I did mention earlier on that I was debating whether you was on the tip-top form or whether you was a bit behind the 8 ball. Hopefully you can share your thoughts in comments on that one there. As earlier on then, because of course we was mentioning how great Steve was, but I was also mentioning how great the other drivers was, but we wasn't too sure about T Sammy. I think he's not far off his absolute best, is he? But we'd like to hear from the man himself about what he's feeling at the moment. Out of qualifying and PB, Hog out of qualifying as well. Fizzy is the big shocker in this qualifying. Down in 17th position, he's out of qualifying. Gaz, who looks like he was improving, but unfortunately abandoned his lap, so he must have made a mistake somewhere along the lines. But either way, he is out of qualifying as well. JJ is through into qualifying too. Fantastic stuff indeed. Then as we go into qualifying 2, which is coming up in just a jiffy. I've got to say, it's very hot here in Paul Ricard tonight, isn't it? Goodness me. Oh gosh, so Frisky is out of qualifying, unfortunately for Frisky, after the offence of the Russian Grand Prix. We've only got one Mercedes in here as well, and it's the only Mercedes in qualifying. It is Timmy coming out of the pits then on the medium tyres, and as we expected, because I think that is going to be the strategy choice, isn't it, for a lot of the drivers tonight. Is going to be the medium to the hard tyres, I predict anyway, but whether that's right or not is a different story altogether. Timmy is now just trundling out of the pit, said he is going to be the first car out on circuit. Matt is also retired from the session as well. We got a couple of qualifying bans in this qualifying too. I should have read the parish notices really, but you can see I'm always prepared. I'm prepared as always, aren't I? But as that saying goes, fail to prepare, fail to... was it? I don't know really. Prepare to fail, fail to prepare, or something like that. I don't know. There you go. I've even failed that famous saying as well, and so perhaps I should get my coat in really bid you a farewell, perhaps. As I'm having an absolute shambles up here tonight. So just watching Timmy now coming down the back straight at the moment. 3 cars out on circuit at the moment. We've got 15 minutes then to determine who is going to be knocked out of qualifying 2. Well, we've seen 2 of them go already. Maxi and Frisky's shenanigans, or getting very frisky in the final stages of the Russian Grand Prix. Out of qualifying, unfortunately. as already mentioned, very unfortunate for Mason, really at the wrong place at the wrong time, really. But hopefully Mason will get some major points here in tonight's race as well. Of course, Mason, we never doubted the man's speed. Then he's already had pole position this season, didn't he? Had a pole position in the Brazilian Grand Prix, didn't he? He did indeed. His best finish of 4th in his IRC career so far. Great performance indeed from Mason. So I think he would like to very much be at the sharp end of the field with two major names then of Frisky and Matt. Not going to be at the sharp end of this field or this qualifying session anyway, but you can't count them out in qualifying. But still, I think that I'll definitely give advantage to the likes of Mason there. Perhaps they're going to have a bit more cleaner air than going when he's out on his race pace. During the race, I mean. Right, as we got Timmy then, who is now on a lap at the moment, then yellow flagged. It is one of the Red Bulls. It is the champion. Steve then just trying to get himself to get ready for his qualifying lap now. Timmy is already on his qualifying lap on the medium tyres. Everyone out on circuit is on the medium tyres apart from Mason. I wonder if Mason there is not even thinking about the medium tyres. He is going to go for the alternative strategy, going to go for the soft tyre, and then see where that fares out then. Coming down the back straight then that Timmy is at the moment, and break it into the very sharp braking point of 8 and 9 then, and before accelerating well. I don't think that 9. I think that 9's very much just a long corner altogether, isn't it? Really, as I used to call it 9 and 10 then, and this was 11 to me. But nope, that is 10 there. So I really need to learn the track as well. Then we're back on board then with Timmy. He's a former pole sitter. I think he's been on pole position 3 times in his RC career. Really good stuff indeed then, Timmy, and of course he's looking very good in the black, in the all black livery Mercedes, isn't he? Of course, he also sports the helmet as well for Murray Walker, who unfortunately passed away earlier on over the weekend as well. And now coming into the final turn then of turn 15, accelerates away then, and let's see what Timmy can do as he comes up to the line. And Timmy does a 29. He's in the 30s at 119 so far for the Mercedes driver. Good stuff indeed there for Timmy. But remember, he would have been slower than what his previous lap on the soft tyres was, because he is on the medium tyre, the slower tyre. I think the delta is usually about half a second, something like that. But that's a finger in the air kind of guess then. Mason out of the final turn then. He is not backing off, is he? So Mason is very much trying to put, is not even playing games here tonight. A second quicker than Timmy on the medium tyres then as well. But it's not about the tyres, that's also about Mason himself, isn't it? As Mason is a very quick customer in one lap pace as well. Steve, I think this is the first time we're going to see Steve on an aggressive lap. But he ended on an aggressive lap at the moment. It looks like he's abandoned his time then. He hasn't put too much effort into the ERS anyway. So maybe Steve's going to have another bite of cherry. But Petty is on a lap then, out of 15 then, and that car, well, I was going to say, was looking very stable until they put the power on, and it got a bit wiggly, didn't it? Petty goes across the line here. He goes at third, fastest end in the Haas team then. He is very much the leader of the Haas this season at the moment, isn't he? He scored 10 points so far. Penny has that, and he's really on a rich run of form, isn't he? Here comes Maxi coming to the line, and this is his 5th Grand Prix at the start of the season. He's full fast at the moment. Maxi is there. I wouldn't like to count my chickens before they hatch, but at the moment Maxi hasn't shown some electric pace just yet around here, as he's just really flying through. As you can see, there's cars all over the show here at the moment. It's there just cutting the course, just trying to get back to the pit. Whether you feel that's good or not is up to debate, isn't it? As Dog down there, who's not going to be cutting the course at the moment, then, because of course he is on a lap. Then his teammate Roscoe should start a lap as well. Just under 10 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Accelerates out of turn 15, then not taking as much curb there as I think it was Petty, wasn't it? Because he was looking very squirrely out the exit turn of that just a few moments ago. Then Asla goes into full fastness. Roscoe has gone purple in the first sector, 22.6 there for Roscoe. Then everyone has qualified on medium tyres thus far, apart from Mason, who is on who's the fastest time thus far. There's too many thuses in that sentence, wasn't there? So enough about the nuss. We have got Roscoe taking a lot of curve there, isn't he? Goodness me. We got T. Sammy also out on the track at the moment. We've got yellow flags in front of us, but that's not going to deter Roscoe too much because he's too far behind the squabbling Joe of the Williams and the Alpha Tauri by the looks then, according to those coloured dots as we're just watching Roscoe into turn 11 now. Brown on an outlap. T. Sammy, the double world champion, is also decided to flex his tyres as well. He is in 11th position, and of course Matt's already out qualifying. Frisky is also as well. Roscoe was well off the track there, as I think he was fine with the understeer and oversteer. The car there, it looks like he had 2 for 1 there, didn't he? Goodness me, I didn't know Asda was in town. Out of the final turn then, Roscoe running a bit wide as well, and I think there's more to come for Roscoe if he needs to go for another time run. He's full fast as Roscoe was. He didn't do a very I think he's got a lot more pace than that car, so do not count out Roscoe for maybe having a challenge for the pole position this season as well. We'll talk about the previous pole sitters of this season in just a jiffy. Car 36 said it is T. Sammy, it is the double world champion, his signature green helmet, he comes over the line, and what does the double world champion do? He's third fastest, and Steve has popped himself into second, and once again we missed Steve's time then. I swear, Steve, it's nothing against you, I just seem to miss you at the moment there, my good man. Just watching Rizzle 6 as he is flicking it through turn 10, car 15 as well, now then into turn 11 then in the Alpha Tauri. And look at that, and the car just wanted to wander off there, didn't it? It was a right-hander, we was going right-handed, but unfortunately, well, Rizzlesticks wanted to go right-handed, but the car just wanted to carry on going left there, didn't it? Goodness me. Rizzlesticks is fighting the win, and he is going on the soft tyres, Rizzlesticks is. Just so you can see then, into turn 50 as well. It's a very awkward, a very clumsy final turn around here, isn't it? DRS then for Rizzlesticks head over the line. Let's see what he does. He's fastest by a 10th of a second there. Good stuff indeed there for Rizzlesticks. He's going to be, is he going to be safe for that? I feel that he might put on another set of soft tyres just in case then, which means he might be limited for when he goes into qualifying 3, or if he goes into qualifying 3, I should say. JJ is currently still in the pits at the moment. We have got, look at Brown and the same promise he had with Rizzlesticks, only this time Brown is on the medium compound tyre, and he was just drifting further and further away from the racing line. Oh, look at that car, goodness me, he's like wrestling a bear in that Williams, isn't he? Goodness gracious me then. That car is not very compliant at all then. No, just coming out the final turn as well. Unfortunately we've got we've got a problem there for the for Maxie, who's got 6 minutes to get his game back in there, because I've just seen a pop-up on my phone about him about the game ejecting itself. Fed. I'm wondering if so obviously his PlayStation 4 didn't like Maxie's laptop now, and Maxie's got a bit of pressure now because he needs to get it back. He needs to get the game back loaded up and get back in the session within 5 minutes to go. Then for White, and he's going to be facing extinction in this qualifying session, because Brown, Penny, JJ and Double, I think, could definitely really ruin Maxie's comeback party tonight, can't they? As just watching Double, car 97 as well, and very compliant then out of turn 9 for Double. Good stuff indeed that, as he's now coming up into turn number 10 as well. Double is car 97 in the Alfa Romeo, flicking it through. And of course, Double with Frisky not a part of the Mika Hakkinen trophy anymore. Double is leading that trophy now, showing I think that Double is showing his skill and also his his experience as well, because of I think that's what the Mick Hakkinen Trophy is all about, really, is that it rewards I think it definitely rewards drivers like Double there. It just keeps he's a point scorer, isn't he? He's a serial point scorer, Double is, and he's very good at setting up the car as well, believe you and me. Double has gone into 9th position. Max has got some major technical gremlins, and the Ferrari driver is in serious peril of being knocked out of qualifying here. Then that's not good at all, is it, for Maxi? Oh dear, the drama's in the pit and also on the track as well. And just watching Timmy, then Timmy comes across the line on the soft tyres. He is into qualifying 3, I foresee. Whether that's right or not, remains to be seen then. But at the moment, he is through to qualifying 3 as it stands, and I think he should be safe on that one. Just watching Matt down in 15th and Frisky in 14th. Both drivers have been unfortunately not allowed to be a part of this qualifying session because of course, shenanigans in Russia. Double is through into qualifying 3 as it stands at the moment. Maxi is definitely there for the taking, isn't he? Because he has got technical gremlins in that Ferrari. It's not looking good, is it, at all for Maxi then? So Maxi is got to get he's got to get himself shifted on, doesn't he? Otherwise, I think that this could be taking an early bath into qualifying 2. Which is not what the Ferrari driver wants at all, is it? So Timmy there just coming back into the pits. So we've only got 2 cars out on second moment, which is Double and Timmy. I thought Timmy might have wanted to stay on to the medium tyres then, but it looks like he's not interested in that whatsoever. And why do I know this? I hear you ask. And of course, as we go through the qualifying rules, then in qualifying 2, if you get into the top 10, you've got to start on the exact tyre which you set your fastest time on in qualifying 2. Of course, then that's the rule. That's been the rules now for donkey's years, hasn't it? Really, and I think it's a recipe for success. It really is, isn't it? Timmy coming back into the pit lane as well. Of course, the pit in there was changed after 2000 and after 2018, and of course it's a bit longer now, isn't it, to come in the pits. So you've got to factor that in now as well when you do make your pit stops as well. I think it's going to be a one-stop race this one. The track is all quiet at the moment, and it's a beautiful day here in France. It really is indeed. Then I'm going to have to get I'll put U2 on in a minute, and he would definitely blast out a beautiful day there. Really good stuff indeed. Then he was at an airport, and I think I'd rather be at this place personally. Penny coming down circuit. He is thrown on the soft tires as well, and let's see. And let's see what Penny can do then. I feel that Penny then would definitely be rubbing his hands then, knowing that one of the top 10 drivers is in major issues then, which is Maxi. Really not good at all, is it? Just on board now with Penny then, he's on an outlaw mode. This qualifying session's been absolutely incredible, hasn't it? Because the amount of talent and top line drivers are out of qualifying right from qualifying one. I can't believe I was saying that Fizz is out of qualifying one. Absolutely nightmare show for Fizzy, but we're going to get a great race, I think, from Fizzy charging through the field. Of course, we got Matt and Frisky also out of qualifying as well. Them two are going to be coming through the field like a hot knife through butter as well. And Maxi, if he can get his technical gremlin sorted out in the Ferrari, he could be also coming through the field as well like a steam train. But we still got so many drivers that they'll be vying for pole position as well. It'd be Steve then, who's certainly going to be one of the favourites, along with T. Sammy, Roscoe and Asdog. Asdog, of course, he used to be very good in qualifying trim. We haven't seen much of Asdog's very best racing technique in the Formula 1 2020 game, have we? I think 2019 was very much a sweet spot for Asdog. Just shows how different the cars are from game to game, from year to year. Penny out of the final turn as well, 55 seconds to go. I'm not sure if anyone else is coming up, but it looks like so it's between Penny and Brown then. I think the double there is going to be a bit concerned as well, because I think that one of those drivers there is going to be, unfortunately, exiting stage left in this qualifying 2 session. Who will it be? And Penny nails the first chicane there, absolutely sweeter than that. It's a second chicane right now. Roman Grosjean had a crash there, didn't he, when we first came here back in 2018 there, which wasn't very good, was it, for the man who, for Grosjean in his home Grand Prix then, so that was not very good at all, was it, for Roman? I think that was Roman Grosjean's first French Grand Prix home race as well, if I'm not very much mistaken then. Of course, the last time we had a French Grand Prix before 2018 was, I think, 2008, wasn't it? Manicure, I should say, as I used to call it, Cure. But yes, Manicure in the French Grand Prix, and I like that circuit, and goodness me, I'm reminiscent tonight, and I think it's very apt as well, as of course that is definitely very much my year, and of course Murray Walker, when you talk about Manicure and think that, I do very much think of Murray Walker commentating on some of the great races around France. I've said that as I'm trying to think of some now. I'm really struggling. I quite enjoyed the 97 Grand Prix, actually. Of course, I think we had a bit of thunder and lightning, didn't we, towards the end of that one, which really helped Schumacher win that race that day, didn't it? Goodness me. And of course, the 1999 French Grand Prix as well. That was an absolute classic, wasn't it? We'll talk more about that in just a minute, because Penny is coming up to the line. Penny crosses the line. Penny is in 5th position. Good stuff indeed then. And Maxi is out of qualifying now then, by the looks. He is out of qualifying. Is Brown going to upset a double as well? Double could potentially be just outside the top 10. But Kassan, what retire he wants, and that will be crucial, I think, for the Grand Prix. Car 58, here is Brown then. Break this a glow for the Williams driver. Can we have 2 Williams in the top 10? It is Brown who has to do it though. No one else. He comes across the line. Is it enough? I think it is indeed. There is it flashed just as before my eyes. It is enough. Then unfortunately double is out of qualifying. That's both out for Romeo's out of qualifying then. Unfortunately, as we just then, as we now just finished qualifying too, out of qualifying are these drivers indeed then. And I got to say, 3 of the 4 drivers are former race. 3 of the 5 drivers are former race winners as well, aren't they? Matt out of qualifying, Frisky out of qualifying as well, JJ out of qualifying, Maxi and a double out of qualifying too. Then, unfortunately, then as we now progress into qualifying 3, then we have got 5 drivers on the soft tire. But it looks like if I get my old calculator out, yes, indeed, there is 5 drivers on the soft, 5 drivers on the medium tires. That is absolutely perfect for me. I like strategy setting because it really definitely spiced up the race, I think, from my point of view. But unfortunately, that means that half the drivers are going to be right, half the drivers are going to be wrong then. Qualifying 3 has just started. We got 12 minutes to go here at Paul Ricard to determine who's going to be on pole position for round 10 of IRC season 9. Excuse me. I bought this beautiful squash lady, apple and blackcurrant, absolutely delicious, man. I'm really enjoying that. Yeah, I've decided to cut the coke for tonight, and I'm on a bit of a squash day today as well. Then I think with summer coming, and with hopefully Wimbledon and things like that be back this year as well. Of course, Wimbledon is quite synonymous with Robins, isn't it? I think. Well, I think anyway. But there you go. I am saying Wimbledon for over a year now. I can't even remember who sponsors Wimbledon now, which is absolutely appalling, really, isn't it? Well, what isn't appalling is that we have got Val out on circuit as well. Mason is very much tailgating Val at the moment, and so not leaving that rear end alone. And Mason is and look at that. And Mason is absolutely weaving from left to right, quite extremely there, isn't he? I think that he's just trying to get as much life as a tire as well. But I think going into the look at those brake discs. Look at that thing. Goodness me. I gotta say, I think that oh, who's that just well, no, I think that was the AlphaTauri of the double world champion there, just cutting that corner all free there, wasn't he? As he wanted to get in front there. Val then is just about a moment, so I'm going to stay with the double world champion. He's going to be the first man to set a time at the moment. Currently in the pitch is Rizzle6, Asdog, Roscoe, Penny and Brown then. So all those drivers, I feel, probably doesn't have any extra set of soft tires, or maybe because you can cut the track around here, they're probably going to wait then and come out a little bit later and go against the grain kind of thing then, which is very we've got yellow flag there as the drivers are just getting out of each other's way, and they do not want any dirty air, do they? They want to have a clean run around here, and we're on board then with the double world champion now. Then double T Sammy got his first pole position of the season last time out, believe it or not, in Russia. Incredible, wasn't it? The T Sammy, that was his first pole position. He hasn't got a race win this season. Pole positions this season. Maxi's had 2, Steve's had 4. We've had one for Mason, we've had one for Frisky, and we've also had one for T Sammy as well. T Sammy then on a lap on, he is the quickest of the time runners so far, but he is the first one to set a time. Look in the background is Val. Val is still quite close then, and I think it's a very good measuring stick to really see how your laps is unfolding. We've one of the quickest drivers in the league just in front of you, which is this man here, T Sammy, and he is still there, motoring away down then the back straight as well. And I think Val will be quite happy with this thing, because he's probably getting a cheeky slipstream then. He looks quite far back, doesn't he? But these cars could really generate slipstream from about 5 seconds or so back. It's absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? Of course, the new rules coming in 2022 hopefully would reduce all this dirty air and make Formula 1 a bit more entertaining. Having said that, 2020 last season I thought was one of the best seasons I've seen in a long time personally, but there you go. And just just touched on that. And of course, a lot of the fans these days do say Formula 1 is not exciting, but we'll come back to that point in just a minute, because Steve Salmon comes across the line and he goes fast on a 28.7 and to throw the benchmark down, to throw the gauntlet down. I think Val's had a crack in the opening up then. What about Mason coming across the line? He is second fastest, a tenth of a second in front of Val. Good stuff indeed. Timmy up to the line. Timmy likes to go for free, and look at that then. He is a 300 a second away from T. Sammy as well. I was going to say Timmy likes to go for a couple of runs in a row. He likes to have 2 or 3 runs in quick succession as well. What about Steve? And he's on pole position there, almost 8 tenths a second in front there. Steve said he's been the star of the show in qualifying, but goodness me, he has very much been the Phantom of the Opera, because we haven't seen it much. I think that's a reference to Phantom of the Opera. Now I'm trying to sound much more cultured than what I am. I've never seen Phantom of the Opera, but maybe I should have maybe used a Star Wars reference and something like the Phantom Menace perhaps instead. And Steve and it's only at the final scene then where Steve shows his hand there where it needs to be shown. Then, but I think that Steve's been magnificent all the way through qualifying. That's been fantastic. Roscoe coming down the back straight as well. Anyway, going back to the point I was making earlier, yeah, some people do say that Formula 1's a bit boring now with Mercedes dominating and all that kind of stuff, which I suppose in a way. But last season was fantastic. We had Lance Stroll getting his first ever pole position of his career. We had Perez winning his first Grand Prix of his career as well. We went back to places like Imola. We went to new places like Portimao as well, which is also on the calendar, which I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing if it's on the new game next season as well, of course. So I feel that, looking back at yesteryear and the Formula 1 races from yesteryear, where it's refueling races and all that kind of stuff, listen to Murray Walker commentate on those. I think that those races, perhaps if, goodness me, that was Val on the outside of Roscoe there. I was like, what was that? But Murray Walker was commentating on those races. I think because Murray Walker was commentating on them, I look back and think of those races are probably a lot better because Murray Walker is commentating on them. Roscoe goes second fast and shows that he's quite quick as well around here. But there, no one is still in the 27th moment, and Steve is in quite a nice sweet spot at the moment, isn't he? Steve is impressive stuff indeed. Very good stuff then for Steve and Roscoe in a second position as well. Just watching T. Sammy's teammate, which is Rizzlesticks, and who's had a problem there. He is not motoring the way I expect Rizzlesticks to be motoring at the moment. And so he's got a couple of issues there. He's cruising at the moment. Rizzlesticks is with 5 minutes to go in this qualifying session. So major issues there for Rizzlesticks. We're going to keep an eye on what Aston can do, and he is just on an outlap as well. Yeah, so I think the Murray Walker did make a lot of the races sound a lot more exciting than perhaps what they were then. So I think if Murray Walker was commentating on today's races, perhaps we would be saying of how amazing they are as well. I think that just shows how good Murray Walker was at making anything very exciting as well. But I feel that today's Formula 1 is absolutely fantastic at the moment. It really is indeed then. I think it's a very good stead then. And going into this season as well, I don't think Mercedes will have it all their own way this season. But then again, having said that, I'm sure I said that before in 2017 and 18 as well, and I've been completely wrong. So I'm probably going to be wrong on this instance as well. But there we go. But what I quite like doing is really trying to find a pecking order after the practice, after the testing session. Which yes, I know is no point really, is it? Because there's going to be a lot of sandbags and all that kind of malarkey out. But it's quite nice to have a guess, though, isn't it, really? I think that's half the fun of testing, isn't it? Surely. And, of course, the other half, the also fun of testing as well is looking at the new gizmos and gadgets from the Formula 1 cars as well. McLaren have got a very clever diffuser, haven't they? Which is, I think you're going to have to get Ted Krause to explain it, because I'm absolutely rubbish with all the technological kind of jazz and jargon and all that kind of stuff. Yes, they've got diffuser, which is slightly lowered, isn't it, around the end part of the fuse kind of thing, which is appalling way of describing it, but very clever indeed then. But whether it's legal or not, I'm not too sure. I think it is legal, isn't it, last time I've heard? But I must admit, I haven't really been all I've been hearing about today is that new Saudi Arabia circuit, which interesting to say the least, isn't it? So it's the most quickest street circuit on the Formula 1 calendar. 27 turns as well. So there's not going to be there's going to be a lot of turning going on as well. And it's also got a it's also one of the longest street circuits in Formula 1 as well, isn't it? So impressive stuff indeed there to be longer than Azerbaijan there. I think it was 6 kilometers long, wasn't it, or something like that? Ridiculously long. Asdog then is on the back straight as well, and that was your quite news roundup there, really, of what's been going on in the world of Formula 1. Asdog is now coming up into turn 11 as well. McLaren of Mesa is now coming on circuit there with 3 minutes to go in the qualifying session. This is where it's going to really heat up. Steve looks like he's checked out in front at the moment, but I feel that there is still 9 drivers that they're going to be sniffing at their heels there. They're really sniffing their heels and having a look and really seeing what they can do, whether they can beat Steele. Not then out of the final turn, then DRS right on the money. He comes up to the line, Asdog does. Is it going to be enough for pole position? No, it isn't. It's the slowest of the time so far for Asdog. 2 tenths a second away from Val as well. So it just shows that, just underlines how good Val's time was. Impressive indeed. That Rizsticks there is had another issue then. What about T. Summit coming up to the line? It's a 10th per second. He's found a 10th per second. Is it enough? It's enough to improve, but he's still behind Vrosco at the moment there by less than a 10th per second. 210 is go for another Botticelli. Indeed he is there, so he's got the momentum now, and he's really going to try and carry it, isn't he? Timmy has started us off as well. Mason is invalidated his time, unfortunately. What about Val? Val is carrying on at the moment, and into turn 40 as well. Look at that. Oh, he's coming into the pits. Val he's had enough. And is he going to have the time to come in and go back out? I don't think he will, but again, I'll have him run before. Asdog's going for a second bottom the chair as well, and he's 2 tenths a second up about in the first sector. Now he's almost 4 tenths a second up in the second sector, flicking it through turn 10, and that is enough to get him in front of Mason and Val. Now be up in the 5th position. Good 17 there for the Racing Point driver, and it'll be good for Asdog himself then into turn 12. So look at the sun there, really good going into Asdog's eyes. I hope it's got a tinted visor on there, the Racing Point driver. We've got a AlphaTauri just in front of us as well. I think that might be Rizsticks there, who's just finishing off his outlap there, so he's going for broke as well with 1 minute to go in this qualifying session. And here comes Asdog out of the final turn. He improves to 6th fast in the end, and Asdog lost a bit of time there towards the end then. T. Sammy's abandoning his time, coming the pits then, and that might be the end for Val, for T. Sammy. Is the end for T. Sammy. He's 3rd fastest here today. Well, what about Timmy? Has he got something in his locker from car 81? I think he has. Has he? No, he hasn't. He's in 4th position still. Oh, goodness me. Has he got enough for one more run? I don't think he has there. He's almost out of he's out of hers as well. He's out of hers as well there, Timmy has said. So I think that might be his last attempt now. Brown is starting as well. What about Penny? Penny in 9th position and he hasn't set a time just yet. Can he get in? But can he get between Riz? Oh no, he's still in 8th position now. Penny is. I think that he's going to be happy with that. Well, I think he's in 8th position then. So yes, I think that's fairly good there from Penny. And remember, he's on a very good hot streak. I think at the moment, Penny as well. He's scored in the last 2 rounds. Can he make it a hat trick? Now Steve there has just come across the line. Then Roscoe has come across the line as well. Then I think those are the 2 drivers out there are going to be battling for pole position here on this day in history. Mason's in the pits, and Timmy is also faced as well. What about Asdog? He is he still going for it? I think the team might be done and dusted in this qualifying session as well. I think his Dowls has gone, so I think that's it then. Penny's 3 tenths a second up in the second sector. Here's Rizsticks, and he comes across the line. Let's see, let's go get in front of Penny. He's a great time there from Rizsticks up into 5th position in the AlphaTauri. Strong performance indeed there for Rizsticks, and he is directly behind his team leader. Good stuff indeed. That's what AlphaTauri needs then, isn't it? If they want to get back in front of the constructors now. Here's Brown then. In front of Brown is Val. Val is finished for the time for this qualifying session. What about Brown then? He is in to the final corner, so I'm looking to break this clone on car 58 out of the final turn then. Let's see what he can do there. Is his teammate trying to give him a drag then, and I think he's too far in front. Brown across the line. 10 fastest then. Penny is improved by quite dramatically. It's going to propel him up the leaderboard. He's lost a lot of time at the end though. He's half a second up in the second sector. Steve then is a 10th for a second up there. He's going to lower the bar. Steve is just having an absolute fun up there at the moment, and he improves. My goodness me. Steve is just completely gone there. I think he's actually at Manicore. Oh my goodness me. He's that far away. My geography is appalling, so it may not be that far at all. But all I know is Steve is just lower the benchmark. He's almost a second in front of second place, and he's 8/10 of second in the end. That is absolutely incredible. Steve is on pole position once again. Then he is dominating this league this season. Then 5 pole positions so far for Steve this season alone. Then brilliant stuff then for Steve. He's in such a good place at the moment in his career. He is unstoppable. Ross goes alongside him on row 1, the double world champion T. Sammy, third faster with Timmy in 4th. Rizastix and Mason 5 on row 3. I'm looking forward to that battle going into turn 1 as well. Good stuff indeed then. As core Mentos there saying to go T. Sammy, and of course T. Sammy further. Unfortunately, Mr. T. Sammons up there, and goodness me, look at that. It's a very overcast day here in Paul Ricard. Right, so we're getting ready for the start of the Grand Prix here in Russia. Sorry, not Russia, in France. And I'm looking down. I keep seeing I got Russia sat on me spreadsheet at the moment, because I was just trying to remind myself what happened last week then. And all I can remember about last week is that incredible final lap. Really, I absolutely love that final lap. Really good stuff indeed then. Of course, that was a contributor of a late safety car. We could have a safety car here tonight. I'll say the chances are quite low because I think apart from the perilous turn 10, I'm not really sure where else you would cause the safety car, to be honest. But that might be my famous last words. And anything could happen in IRC. It usually does. And we've got a formation lap first then. There is the predicted pit strategy. But let's go for the grid, shall we? From pole position down to 19 from the grid. Then 19 cars then. If Max has got back in the session, and hopefully he has, and hopefully it has, and because I would like to see what Max can do then for in the middle part of the field as well. There's Adam Wolfer saying, let's go Frisky. He's down in 14th position, and we've got some big hitters near the back of the field. This is going to be a cracking Grand Prix. It really is indeed. 27 laps then. Pole position is Steve, then he is on the medium compound tyres, as is Roscoe second, and T. Sammy in third position, all medium tyres. So then Timmy in fourth position, he's on soft tyres with Rizastix and Mason, 5th and 6th, then all on soft tyres. They're going to have a good run going down to turn 1. It's not the longest run down to turn 1, but it's a good stretch for the soft runners then. Asdog is in 7th position with Val in 8th position then on row 4. 9th position is Penny on the soft tyres. Brown is in 10th position in the second Williams as well. Double gets a new quad of medium tyres, I should say then. So he might be happy in 11th position then. Maxi's still a ghost and he's in 12th position then. Maxi, unfortunately, and that is a big blow for the Ferrari driver, isn't it? As Maxi returned here tonight, but unfortunately, it looks like he might have a DNS end to his name, unfortunately. Frisky in 14th position. It looks like he wants to get on with this, and he is the first of 3 drivers on the hard tyres. And let's see how that plays out. Matt is on the medium tyres in 50th position there. Remember, is that they're one of the drivers I would expect to come through the field then. 16th is Gaz then on the medium tyres. Well, Fizzy is the second driver on the hard tyres. Remember, Fizzy then had a nightmare qualifying session, didn't he? He's worked down the order. Hogg is in 18th as well. He is on the hard tyre. That is the third of 3 drivers on the hard tyres. And I'm expecting Hogg to also be coming through the field. And PB in at 19th position there, as he's a bit further back in the area of the 19 cars. Well, 18 technically with Maxi's car, which I think is going to be just dropping further and further back, unfortunately. As it looks like he can get back into the session, which is absolutely devastating, really, for Max, isn't it? As he would like to have come back there and really put on a show, isn't it, for the Ferrari? But unfortunately, that is not going to be the case, is it? PB cut the famous number 27 there. Of course, the 27 is quite famous in France. Well, that is Jean Alesi was the last driver to hold that number 27 in the Ferrari, wasn't he? Of course, there in 1995 when he won the Canadian Grand Prix, didn't he, for the Ferrari team as well? PB is now lining up 19th on the grid. We're on board there with the Red Bull driver. There's the predicted pit stop time. Soft tyres is probably not the best race tyre around here, but we'll find out what the drivers make of that. And here we go then, as we're just waiting for the lights to come on. We're on board with Steve. This is pole position as well then, as just waiting for the lights. There they are. We have 4 sets of lights on, all 5 are illuminated. Will we go now? And here we go then, it's Steve's getaway as well. Ristic's already dropped out of position. It looks like we've got all kinds of shenanigans going on with the old tower, so we'll leave it to be for now. But Steve Lee's going into turn 1 then, and look at this, and Val, Val's gone skating across there, across turn 1, and we've also got a racing point. Well, there's a Haas off in the background. Who is it? Just take a look. Penny just had a couple of gremlins there as well. Roscoe Hop's given a jump in there, but he's still second position at the moment. So he is really defending off T-Sammy. T-Sammy's having all kinds of shenanigans going on there behind him, because Mason has had an electric start. He is right out behind T-Sammy in 4th position at the moment. So coming down the back straight as well. And look at this then. Look at this, Timmy there, who wants to get back behind T-Sammy. Surely he does that. He is on the quicker of the tyre so far. He is wheel to wheel. And look at this, but Mason's not going to give it an inch, seriously. Oh, but Timmy there got on the power a bit too heavily there. And look at this, look at the drag race. There's yellow flags in the background there. As someone's had an off fed. And look at this, and they're going through side by side through turn 10. Magnificent there from Timmy and from Mason. And they still finished up Val and Fizzy. Oh, Fizzy's dropping down the order there. Fizzy's having a couple of gremlins there, but I looked at the Mercedes. Look at this, and they're all fighting wheel to wheel here. And look at this then. And now we got Hog, who's trying to go on the inside there. Val's having the pole and starting the Grand Prix so far. And Hog is having a great start then compared to Val. And of course, Hog was down 80 position there. Val was in the top 10. Unfortunately, that's not the case now. JD up into 10 position as well. Oh, goodness me, there's contact there. As Hog there, I think misjudges breaking point. Mason's back up into 4th position as well. Lap 1 completed. This has been a hot lap here in France, and fantastic. As Hog's dropped back then, and look at this, and now we got Matt, who's on the inside of Aston at the moment there. Oh, these two old rivals then, I've got to say, there's going to be no quarter given then in this battle as well between Aston and Matt then in 8th and 9th position then. Let's take a look at the progression then for some drivers. And Matt's had an absolutely electric start. He's moved up 6 positions there in the opening up then. Goodness gracious me there, right from the get-go. Matt is absolutely flying around here. Good stuff indeed there. See, he's almost got a second a lap advance already. He's doing a Vettel again, then he's out of the DRS zone. That's exactly where he wants to be. JJ is definitely not out of the DRS zone yet, but we haven't got it. We're getting it on the 3rd lap then, and he's up the inside then, passes the Ferrari driver, and he's back into 11th position then. So Val's dropped down 3 position and had a bit of a horror show. Well, Sarah Williams' teammates moved up 3 positions as well then. So a bit of night and days. Oh, goodness me. What's going on here? It's Frisky. He is up in 14th position. Frisky is unfortunately dropped back slightly. So he's on the hard tire course. So I'm wondering if he's just getting a bit difficult there with those hard tires just far enough then. But he's back past Hog as well. Hog had a good start then, but he's now starting to sink back behind then. And look at Frisky. Goodness me. He did a bit of teleportation there, didn't he? But he's in 14 for the one there, going up the inside of Fizzy at the moment. Fizzy looks like we got all the hard runners there, almost close together. There's almost one car there, goodness me. And they're coming through to complete another lap as well. Look, there's a McLaren in the background as well. Who's that? That's Hog, but Penny's just stuck on the outside. Magnificent there. And Hog, I don't think I was expecting that. And Gaz is now all over the back as well. Hog is the meat and the half sandwich. And coming down into turn 1 then. JJ back up the inside, back past Val. Val is going to go up and under now. That's a good slingshot from Val then. Look at this, and there's a Mercedes off in the background now. I think Fizzy was just running wide, and now Val up into 11th position. JJ down into 12th, then on board the Ferrari driver. Fizzy has the high ground, but Frisky, look at those breakers glowing magnificently. Steve was out of the DRS zone, but now he's back in the range there for Roscoe. That's exactly what he needs. It's very difficult to get out of DRS around here, I think, because there's a bit much of a DRS trade. Oh my word, that's a Ferrari. It's a safety car. It's a safety car, and the Ferrari of JJ's out of the Grand Prix. And Ferrari that looks like Neil Poir once again then for the famous Scuderia team. What a shame indeed then. And how is this going to play then in terms of strategy then? And I think this is a good opportunity then to just take reflection of what has gone on in the Grand Prix so far. Absolutely fantastic. Well, Steve at the moment has maintained position, as has Roscoe and T-Sabi. Mason's moved up 4 positions, once again having an electric start. Matt is dropping down the order. What's happened to Matt? Matt's run off the circuit. What's happened to Matt? Matt was that there's no overtaking of the safety car, and Matt is dropped right down into 17th position. He had an electric start, and he was behind Astor. block. Oh no, oh dear, that's not good at all for Matt. And he's, I'm not sure, look into the pits there. I think it's all the soft runners then. Oh goodness me then. And yeah, so Matt now dropping right down the order. Not sure what's happened there to Matt, but that is not good at all. Really isn't indeed that. So he was one, I was going to say, he's one of the big movers there. He's up 6 positions there, but now he is back almost to where he started then. And that is a big blow indeed then. So, let's take a look to see what tires everyone's going on. So all the soft runners have come in the pits, and we've got a couple of the medium runners in the pits as well. Penny now in the pits, and I think that Penny is going to go on the medium. Is going to go on the medium tires, hard tires for Val, and so Val is going to go a very long way into the race. Timmy is going to be the highest of the runners, and to pit he's in 12th position as well. Maxi is in 13th position, but he's a ghost unfortunately, as Maxi's out of the Grand Prix. We got Mason, who is in 14th position. He's the second highest of the runners, who is coming in the pits. And Rustics, Brown, Val and Penny then. So unfortunately the two Williams drivers came in almost together, and because of that they've really cost each other time. So then, we're on lap 4 then, and we only had a brief glimpse of the DRS before the safety car came out. Bernd Mailander out on the track at the moment. It's a very overcast day here in Paul Ricard. We have had it confirmed there from Frisky. There is no rain afoot, so we should be all good then in terms of the weather. But however, I was saying there's going to be a low chance of a safety car. That just shows how much I know about this, doesn't it? There is a safety car after only 3 laps in this race. JJ out of the Grand Prix. Unfortunately for JJ, that is his 8th DNF of the season, and he's having a bit of a difficult time this season. JJ he's shown flashes of brilliance, hasn't he? But unfortunately, it seems that when the race switches on the head there, JJ it seems to get the really bad luck, doesn't he? Which is a big blow indeed, isn't it, for the Ferrari driver. Just on board now as we've got more overtaken then. And oh, goodness me, why is that there? PB has just had a severe collision with Gas, and that is not good at all. And Gas has got a penalty as well. Oh, goodness gracious me then. And PB has got no wing then. He's got a penalty as well. A 5-second penalty along with Gas. He's got to come in the pits there, change that nose cone on the Red Bull. And PB is probably going to be furious in that Red Bull as he comes into the pits there, and yes, as PB then is going to have to I wonder what tires PB is going to go on then, so he's going to have to serve but luckily for PB he can serve this 5-second penalty. Gas stays out there, not sure what happened there then, but we've had a couple of shenanigans under the safety car, and there's the Red Bull mechanics. They're the best mechanics in Formula 1, and here comes PB now to be serviced, and he also gets the 5-second penalty off his name as well. So as bad as it is, it's not the worst thing to happen in the world, is it? He goes on to the medium tires as well. PB still will you still have to pit later on in the race, but it's like a reset there for PB. So let's see what he can do from here on in then. So only one driver's got a penalty in the field thus far, and that is Gaz, but after they're coming together with himself and PB then, and I wonder if that might have been a ricochet effect there. As now as he comes out the pit lane, as we mentioned there about that pit lane, now not many drivers will want to do more than one stop in a race trim, will they? Because it's a very long pit lane as well. There's the marshal's head waving the yellow flags, and as we got a safety car stood out, hopefully the safety car will be back in at the end of the stop, and we'll be going once again then. Let's take a look at the order, shall we? So Steers in the Grand Prix then, second is Roscoe, third is T. Sam at the moment then, fourth is Astor. Having a very good start to this race. Astor is double in fifth position. He's also leading the Mick Hakkinen Trophy as well. Double is fantastic. Fizzy is come from 17th to 6th then in the matter of 5 laps. Electric start there from Fizzy. Hog in 7th position, a similarly good start then with Frisky in 8th position as well. All the hard runners there. Lionel Stern now when they started on hard tires. Now they're 7th, 8th and 9th. 6th, 7th and 8th if I ever get me I might have to get me Specsavers out. In 9th position now is Gas. He's got a 5-second penalty. Matt, who was off the road, wasn't he, at this turn here, while off the road as well. So I'm not so whether he was looking down at something in his cockpit or something, I do not know. But Matt was well off the road in 10th position, and he's dropped down because he was as high as 9th position, I think. Timmy is the first of the runners to pit in 11th position there. Mason in 12th position, 13th is Rizzle Stakes. Brown in 14th with Val in 15th on the hard tire. 16th is Penny, 17th is PB. Both Ferraris are out of the race. DNS then for Maxi. Technical dramas has took him out of this event then, and JJ is had a big old smash at the exit turn at 7 then. 17 cars remain then. Here we go again then. Look at Roscoe, he is making sure that making sure that Steve knows he is there, and Steve has been the cream of the crop here this season, hasn't he? We're back racing, and Steve drops the hammer. Let's go again down here in France at lap 6 of the Grand Prix. And look at this, oh goodness me, look at how much they're snaking there on the exit then. So Steve leads, Roscoe is second there, third position is T-Sammy, Asdog is fourth, followed by Double, very close in fifth, and Fizzy in sixth position as well. We got a couple of changes of the order behind us as well. Fizzy in sixth, Hog is 7th position, Frisky is in 8th position, look at Gaz there, right underneath the rear wing of the Renault in 9th position, Matt in 10th position, that is the top 10 as well. Double and Fizzy are going side by side there, look at this, Fizzy has got past, Double is on the inside, though Double on the inside, is Fizzy going to go up and under? Not quite, there's a bit of a queue forward, now there's a bit of a conga line behind Double, and we go to 7 as well. This is a perilous turn, I failed to mention it in the pre-show, I can't even get my words out, and now then there's no DRS there, but Double, is he going to be, he's going to very much be feeling the breath on the back of his neck from Fizzy as they come down into 8 and 9 as well. Just look at the moment, they're all lining turn into turn 9 as well. Good evening there to Jan Dennis. Good evening, Sean. Good evening, Jan. I hope you're having a great day, and of course, I hope you have enjoyed the race thus far. And look at that in the background, and Frisky. Oh goodness me! Then on the outside of Hog, then in the McLaren, great stuff indeed. That Matt has got past Timmy, I think. That Mason dropping down yours as well. Yellow flags in free because we got you got Gaz who's dropped back into 50th position as well. And a couple of I wonder if Gaz has struggled to get the tires up to temperature then after that safety car restart then, because he looked like he really struggled then out of the exit of turn 2 there, unfortunately. Double the front is 8 tenths a second, 5 tenths a second between Roscoe and T-Sammy as well. As Dog in a full position then with Double in 5th, and there's a bit of a queue behind Double now with Fizzy and Frisky 6th and 7th position. Hog 8th. Matt is right underneath the rear wing of Hog. No, Jens, he's alongside Hog and he's going through. That isn't debris, I think that, I don't know what that was. I got up in the sky. And look at this. Oh, goodness me, Matt, they're pinching him on the X there, and Hog there almost spun it. And he's struggling there he's struggling for momentum, so Riz sticks up in the 10th position. And the two McLarens there might be getting their way slightly, might be getting in each other's way slightly there, so I don't think Mason's going to be too happy about that. On board Frisky in 7th position, and right in the heat of things as well. Martin Frisky then, of course, they were side by, they were very close to each other at the end of the race. So Fizzy's got a 3-second penalty there for running wide out of turn 7 as we're down the back straight as well. Timmy is once again now all over the back of Matt. Now he's staying on the racing line. Oh, Matt, oh goodness me. And Matt there, and who's that? Riz Sticks has gone right to the back of Timmy. He's damaged the end plate on the tower, on the Alpha Tauri. And now then look at the two McLarens are after the Alpha Tauri as well. Look, Hog is up the inside. He takes it. He has indeed. He is through. Rizzle Sticks there is not good, although he's kept his foot right in and planted. The two McLarens so are going to go for the Rizzle Sticks is in no man's land now. Where's the Mason? There he is in a 12th, 11th position there. Oh, what a shame there for Rizzle Sticks, I would say. Innocent bystander in that instant there, as I think he didn't realise that Timmy there was struggling for the momentum coming off the chicane now. What a shame. On board Matt once again, then very much in the heart of the action at the moment now. See, it's really pulling a spurt in the last couple of moments or so. He's up to 1.3 seconds there. Now then, look at this, and now he's got Frisky, who has got past Fizzy. Had a great run out of turn 15 now, and Frisky's up in the 6th position, and a great start to the Grand Prix as well. Fantastic stuff, Ben. And as now flicking it through and into turn 2 as well. Look at this, and now we've got Matty side by side with Fizzy going down into turn 3, and he's past Fizzy, moves up into 7th position as well. Frizzy down in 8th position. Timmy in 9th position. He's on the softer medium compound tyre, isn't he? Look at this, and oh goodness me, Timmy there is just against up behind there. Fizzy running wide, and that's where he got the penalty last time. Now Fizzy struggling for the understeer in that car, but it looks at, and now here's Hog as well, and right underneath the rear wing of the Mercedes. They're going to have that powertrain next year, the McLaren team are, but this is this year at the moment, and so the McLaren team have got, unfortunately, use the Renault power then. And what a great start to this race then. Fantastic, isn't it? Looking back here then, Frisky is now running for ruining at the Alfa Romeo of Double. Double is having a great race, isn't he? He's got very good top line speed as well, isn't he? So he's going to be a very difficult car to drive. Timmy has got past his teammate Fizzy. Fizzy struggling. What's going on with Fizzy at the moment? And he's really struggling for pace, and is there damage on the car? We can't see on the wing there, but these wings are so intricate these days, aren't they? That is a word, I swear. is so detailed these days that even the minute damage there really costs you, doesn't it? Frisky running at the rear wing of Double accelerates out there, but Frisky there, it looks like is he going to be able to get him down into the turn one? I don't think he will, but look at this, this straight is not long enough for Frisky. I wonder if he would go up and under here. Not quite then, it's a double there. Goodness me, great took off, absolutely sensational. And Matt's right underneath the rear wing once again there of Frisky. And these, of course, when these two get together, I absolutely love it. And this is going to get fantastic, isn't it? And Frisky is now the meat in the Alpha Romeo sandwich. And look, here is Double. He is leading it. Timmy's also in action as well. Oh goodness me, look at these four drivers. Then all of them are hungry for points, aren't they? There. And look at that, we've also got another conga line as well. And now Frisky dives from out underneath the rear wing of Double. He is through up into fifth position, passes the Alfa Romeo driver, and jobs are good. And now Double's the line defense of his teammate here, which is Matt. But I think Matt is going to be more concerned about the car behind rather than the car in front, which is the Mercedes. And JJ is out of the race, as we mentioned earlier on. Then both Ferraris had on a miserable time here in France, and now there's a McLaren there right on the curb there, on the exit curb indeed. Then I'm not sure which McLaren it was, and it's both of them were very close indeed. Then Matt running slightly wide. Then Matt has not come in the pitch just yet. It's Timmy there. I thought he lost it. Then Fizzy is lost another position there. Fizzy's dropping like a stone at the moment. Oh my goodness, the McLaren's taking place in action. Mason is having a 10th position. Great reactions there from Mason. Absolutely loved it. And Fizzy there. Oh goodness me, they're banging wheels. And now is Mason's having a 10th position. Fizzy down to 11th. He's struggling. That Mercedes is in real trouble here, isn't it? I wonder what's going on with Fizzy there. Is it his tyres? And he's on the hard tyre. Matt has now got past Double and in the 10th position then. And now then here comes up to Timmy's just going to go up and under. A great slingshot there from the Mercedes drive, wheel to wheel, coming down to 3 and 4 now, and that's good stuff indeed there from Timmy there. Striker was the iron salt then. Double was a bit misplaced there, wasn't he, after his teammate just got by of Matt, so then Double couldn't get back into position there, and Timmy did a great job indeed there. Look at how much time Frisky's got already, 2 seconds there. Now Fizzy is really struggling, isn't he? And look at this now, Brown is all over the back of him as well, and Fizzy's done 9 laps according to the data we got on the tower. Major issue there for the Mercedes driver. Now we got Brown through as well. The two McLarens are so close together in front of us, and look, and now Mason's up into 9th position there. That's what McLaren wants, I think. That's what Zach Brown would like, I think, if Zach Brown was on the pit wall, because Mason is on the medium tyre. He is the quicker McLaren of the two so far, and I think that is indeed what McLaren should be happy about. Oh, Hog, though, there is so much dirty air coming off of that McLaren there, as Fizzy's defending for all he's worth, isn't he? Just trying to stay in this race at the moment. But look at that there. And Valen also did the back end, is also stepping up for the Williams driver as well. There's gas in the background with Penny all over him as well. Fizzy there is going to be hanging on though. Roscoe's got a 3-second penalty. That is going to be a crucial part of this race, I feel. Penalties is going to be very important indeed then. As a Double then is trying to defend and going into turn 1 and 2, and now it's Double seems to be weak going out of turn 2, but that is definitely the case still. Mason's off the circuit there, but he's oh goodness me, but Double there just keeping the line there, keeping the high ground, and that's exactly what that's exactly what he wants to do if he wants to be keeping in this position as well. I think the Double's on an absolutely outstanding Grand Prix thus far, isn't he? And sticking to the strategy then. Sammy really gaining on Roscoe, and we've also got Mason really gaining on Double as well. Mason is on the fresher tyre. They're only 3 laps younger, aren't they? But that just shows how high the tyre wear is around there. It's a brutal race in terms of track there, but Double there is really putting his toe down this thing when Mason tries to cut across there. Double there is Mason doesn't want to be re-overtaken there, did he? As they fly through turn number 10 and 11 now, and Mason is through up into Roscoe in the pits, and so he's going for the undercut right from the get-go here, and the undercut is quite powerful around here. I surmise then, it's a McLaren of Hogg has gone off the circuit there, and now it's Brown, I should say, Brown there, into the pits. There's that double coming in the pits. It is indeed that double's in the pits. Yellow flag, there's someone off. Who is it? It's Rizzle. Rizzle sticks out in some issues at turn 10 on the Alfa Romeo, and Roscoe in the pits going on to the hard tire as well then. And now Steve is leading the Grand Prix. T Sammy is second, and T Sammy has got the pace to keep Steve in his sights. Or more importantly, can T Sammy get his first Grand Prix win of the season? Here tonight it's down to 2 seconds then, and it's still very overcast, but after that we can see a bit of sunshine bursting through the clouds now. Timmy there is right underneath the gearbox of Matt, and of course Matt didn't come in the pits, and Timmy is the highest runner who has pitted, I should say. So Timmy could potentially take the lead of the Grand Prix in the not too distant future, and he's getting past Matt, and he has passed Matt up the outside then, sticking to the racing line then. Job done for Timmy then, and next tire he's now got a 3 second buffer between himself and Frizzy, so he can really put in some laps here. Val back in the 10th position then, and really hacks on the way then. The hard tires, those hard tires are not looking too good on the Williams team, but I think it's looking a lot better than Fizzy's tires at the moment. And now we got Roscoe up at the inside, passes Mercedes, and away he goes then. Fizzy dropping down to 12th position on a bit of a nightmare event here, and into the pits there comes PB on the outside there. Who is that then? Into the pits I can see then, and coming into the pits and changing onto the hard tires. He is, I think he is responding to Roscoe, who came in the pits as well then, and also in the pits is Asdog then. So T Sammy is staying out then, extending this stint then, T Sammy is. So is that going to be a crucial part of the Grand Prix then? I'm loving this. This is all about strategy here tonight, isn't it? And now then, as the racing point has already gone then, as I hope it was anyways, because there's a very long hope that, look, Steve has just only come out the pits, and he's come out in this queue of cars, and this is crucial in the Grand Prix now, isn't it? He needs to get by quite quickly. And where is Roscoe? Roscoe is very close to Steve, a bit closer than what he was when he came out of the pits then, but yes, I thought he'd be a bit closer. Gaz in the pits, well, Asdog is got past PB and moved up into 13th position, 12th position I should say. Roscoe all over the back of the Williams car as well, but see it's all over the back of Brown. Now Brown is don't think he's going to have any defence, is he? And look at the two McLarens there in front, just slip through each other. This might be a problem here for Steve, because look, as we come down the back straight, goodness me, I thought he was almost into the back of the Williams there, and now Steve has got past Brown. Oh goodness me, there's a bit of a tap as well. Now he's through and up into 8th, 7th position. This is crucial, but Brown has had a great slingshot there, and Steve has dropped back behind him then, and Roscoe is within striking distance. Now look at the two McLarens there. Goodness me, they're in a great battle. T Sammy then, the race leader, the double world champion, is in the pits then for the constructors world champions. And look at this, and Steve is right underneath the gearbox of the Williams and Brown. Of course, this is for race position. Look, Roscoe's right in touch of distance now. This might be this is going to be a very, very integral part of the Grand Prix. Steve is clouted with Brown then. And look at Brown almost into the side of Roscoe as well. It's getting very interesting out there. I'm loving it. And there's T Sammy coming out of the pits as well. So he's out of the pits, and look at this. He's going to merge into this battle just in front of that. Williams is a very dangerous exit here, isn't it? Steve, and he hasn't got damage, I don't think, but it was very close, wasn't it? Between himself and Brown, and 3-second penalty for Fizzy in 11th position as well. Both McLarens are having an absolutely great battle at the moment, and Frisky is staying out. He's the highest of the runners on the hard tyre. And same with Hogg as well. And look then, and here they are as well. So still on lap on the track moment is Matt then. I wonder if Frisky might be thinking about going on to the soft tyres. Steve is now up into 5th position, and I've got to say, he's got a lot more straight on speed than the two McLarens had. Look at with Roscoe. Oh my goodness me, Roscoe and Hogg have come to blows, and that's a big blow for Roscoe. He was very much in the fight, wasn't he? But he's come to blows with Hogg. He has come back on the circuit, and Roscoe has, but he is not going to be a very happy racing point driver, is he? Oh dear then. And I'm not sure if Hogg's seen him or whatnot, as I think he might have been focusing on Steve perhaps in the back, in the foreground, as Roscoe tried to sneak through, and And unfortunately, 2-1 doesn't go around turn 8 and 9, does it? Now the McLaren driver, now the second McLaren driver of Mason is going to be feeling the World Championship leaders. Ralph as he is, and that Mason there is coming to the pit side. And I think that's good timing there from Mason for Steve then, and now Steve has got a very nice 2-second gap now between himself and Matt. Matt should be in the pit in the not too distant future. I haven't said that on lap 15, and I wonder if Matt is going to be thinking about maybe going onto the soft tires as well, but he's got to go quite a long way in this Grand Prix then to go onto those soft tires then if he wants to. I think I meant to say soft anyway. Is just on board with Roscoe as he's trying to recover after that spin there last lap then, and Fizzy's got another 3-second penalty as well. It's not going at all well, is it? For Fizzy at this event here tonight. Then the French Grand Prix has been a bit of a nightmare for the Mercedes driver down in 10th position, as always just got past Fizzy as well to compelled to add to his misery here tonight. Then on board with Roscoe, and look at this then, and now he's got to overtake the Williams again. It feels like deja vu, but this time it's Val. He is through up to 8th position, and T. Sammy has got past Hogg. Oh, goodness me. And Hogg there is proving a very difficult driver to overtake as they here tonight. Why should he let anyone by then? Of course, Hogg is racing his own race there, isn't he? And goodness me, though, but T. Sammy there was very assertive there, wasn't he? He was he wasn't going to take no for an answer, was he, T. Sammy? And look at this as we're coming to turn 11. I love that shot, by the way. Fantastic, isn't it? Is this turn just tightens, doesn't it? Now as Hogg is in at 6th position and on those hard tires. Brown then is in 7th position on the medium tires. I'm wondering where I think Brown might be coming in the pits in the not too distant future then. And it's just I said Hogg is in the pits. Only 14 laps on the hard tires. That's quite early for the hard runners then. So then Steve then has got a nice buffer. It's got a nice advantage, and then he just throws in the fast lap as well. Looking very strong indeed. Then T. Sammy's 2.2 seconds back at London. So as you were from before the pit stop shenanigans, but this time it is T. Sammy rather than Roscoe. Roscoe unfortunately was nerfed out the way, wasn't he? Earlier on then, or maybe that might be a bit unfair of a description, but of course they came to blows for him and Hogg, didn't he? And unfortunately that's really hurt Roscoe's race progress. So that there's his target. He's not too far away. He was in the same camera shot just a minute ago then. So Roscoe is not too far away. He's about 2.5 seconds back, which I got to say around this track is actually quite a distance, really, isn't it? Because I feel that when you're on the DRS range around here, it's very difficult to go back into the DRS range because this is a very much an ERS eater, isn't it? It's a very much an ERS depleter. This one is. So a DRS then is quite crucial in your race progress, isn't it? Talking of race progress, then Frisky still leading the Grand Prix, 15 laps on those hard tires. T. Sammy then, Timmy, who came in the pits earlier on then on the medium tires, and I think that Timmy might have to come in the pits again. Matt has done 15 laps on his medium tires, and he that's straight from the start of the Grand Prix as well. Matt's doing a good job on those medium tires into the pits. There comes Timmy now. So I wonder what tires that Timmy's going to go on with. Just 11 laps to go. Is that going to be? That's going to be quite tight, isn't it, for the soft tires? And I wonder if it's going to be another medium set then. And they're just going, it is another medium set then for Timmy. He's in and out now. And good stuff indeed then for Timmy. So he's going to be quite quick towards the end of this race with everyone else on the hard tires. So as Asdog coming across the line, he's having a very good race, Asdog is. I think we should sing praises then for the other racing foot driver of this one here. Asdog is looking very strong indeed then. Good stuff. Timmy coming out of the pits. So look at his teammate there is Fizzy there, just in front of us right now. Mason also in 10th position as well. Mason had a good run of points last time in Russia. Can he keep out that point scoring streak now then? Hogg in 10th position, but Hogg is on the quicker tire compared to his teammate McLaren round 2. I'm loving this then. Oh, he loved it earlier on as well. Double in 30th position then on the hard tires. Petty in 14th. PB just coming to pits as well in 15th. Gaz in 16th. Frizzle 6th in 17th position. And here's Frisky at the moment. And now we've got Steve, who's right underneath the rear wing of Matt as well then. There's T. Sammy, and of course Steve has already gained. Oh, and who's that? Frizzle 6 has had some issues. Oh, goodness me, and I'm not sure, he's had an issue coming into the pit lane, and Rizzle Sticks there, how to crash there, he's out of the Grand Prix, and that is a big blow indeed there for Rizzle Sticks. So he is the third retirement of the Grand Prix now. It is unfortunately all the Italian-based teams, it's the AlphaTauri and both Ferraris have had some gremlins. Steve is all over the back of Matt. Matt is as Rizzle Sticks is up for session there. Into the pits comes Matt now, he's done 16 laps on those medium tyres. Into the pits comes Frisk as well. well. And so Steve is now going to reclaim the lead of the French Grand Prix. He's on course for a 6th Grand Prix win of 10 races this season. Fantastic. So Steve leads at the moment. T. Sammy is currently second, and Roscoe in third position. Then is so Roscoe there just dropped back slightly. Val in 4th position then on 14 lap old hard tires. So Alstog in a very solid 5th position there. T. Sammy tires. Timmy in 6th position. Frisky is on the medium tires in 7th position then. He's going to be quick. He's going to be on the. He's going to be quick with the drivers in front of him. But same with Timmy as well. So these drivers, keep an eye on these drivers, because I think that these might cause problems for Roscoe and Alstock, perhaps, maybe even get close to maybe even get close to the back of Steve, perhaps. We'll find out with 9 laps to go then. And Fizzy there is just wandering off the circuit there, struggling, isn't he, on that car. He's got a balance problem, I think, on that Mercedes. There's some major issues then for Fizzy here tonight. And we sit in qualifying, and we thought he was going to put the we thought that it might have been more keen to a race setup, but it really hasn't been, has it? And look, Fizzy there, oh goodness me, he's right off the circuit, having some major problems, isn't he? That Mercedes driver is so very unfortunate indeed. Then a bit of a difficult day for the Mercedes driver. Matt now up into 8th position. His next target is at Frisky there. These are the two drivers. Oh goodness me, Alstock then. Oh, it's Alstock having some issues there, and I think I'll put in the commentator's curse. Oh my goodness me there, and the Frisky has to take evasive action as Alstock comes back on the circuit then. Oh, and I think I'll put the commentator's curse on. I'm so sorry, Alstock, and he was on a great race, and unfortunately he's come across Rossi around turn 11 there, and that is a blow indeed, isn't it, for that was a major blow indeed then. Mason, I thought, was very close to the back of his teammate as well, so I'm not sure if maybe I've read that wrong or something, but whatever the case may be, Mason has dropped slightly further back then to the McLaren than what I thought he would. And now we've got Hargy, who's now to 9th position on the medium tires as well, and so we've got a lot of medium runners towards the end of this race then, but I feel that these two medium runners here are going to be causing some issues then for the drivers in front of him as well. So Timmy has got about a 6-second deficit between South and Val, but then Val, so oh goodness me, I didn't realise how big the gap was. It's about 12 seconds between Timmy and Roscoe. So I think that the top three might be happy, albeit Roscoe does have a 3-second penalty. Frisky's alongside Timmy. Oh goodness me, that door is closed now, isn't it? Timmy is not gonna wave Frisky through, is he? And look at this, and once again ban away. There's Matt in the background. There's also look at this, Frisky on the outside. What a maneuver! And he is through and up into 5th position. There's Timmy. Is he going to go for a lunge on the inside then? I see some quarter times on the exit, doesn't it? And I gotta say, it's very inviting. It's very inviting. But Frisky has the high ground. He has the line. He has the position. He is in a 5th position. Timmy down into 6th then in the Mercedes then, and now then we'll see what we do now. I think Val is going to try and go to the end then on the hard tires, I believe. That is going to be a mammoth stint now for Val, but he's doing a cracking job at the moment, and he's still got some pace then. Can he keep up with his pace then to the end of the race then? And this will be very good then for Val to get some more points on the board. He scored 18 so far. Frisky's got a fast out of the race then, but that's been quickly eclipsed then by Matt, who is absolutely flying the moment. He's putting in some qualifiers now, and I think that the job done between Frisky and Tim was a bit of a premature assessment from myself, isn't it? Because look at that, 6/10 of a second. Timmy is not going to He's not going to let that one slide, is he? And now Alstock then, who unfortunately Alstock is further back than what he should be really. He was in a very strong 5th position, possibly in a strong 4th position then. He was close to the back of Val, and now as Matt is through up into 7th position, Alstock jumped down to 8th. We've also got Brown getting past that Fizzy. Brown now up into 9th position, and he's also on course for some strong points as well. Both Williams then, if they can keep going then, are on course for some absolutely outstanding results here tonight. Good something. They're both 4th and 10th for the moment then, with 8 laps to go, I should say. So the Williams team are going to have a good old payday here tonight, aren't they, in terms of points? Good stuff. Back on board, and Matt, 2.2 seconds to gap as well. That's going to be coming down quite quickly. Look at the sun there bursting through the clouds as well. It's not been a beautiful day here in France, not like qualifying, but I got to say, no rain then, which is good stuff indeed. Look at the sun there, absolutely shining right into the eyes then of Matt, who is in 7th position, and there's his 2 targets in front of us. We have a yellow target. There he is. We we have a black target as well in the form of the Mercedes, and the yellow target in the form of the Renault, and coming across the line as well. And so Matt has got the gap down to 1.7 seconds as well. He's saying another fast out of the race there. These are blistering times for Matt, but look who he's stringing along. It is Asdog then, so maybe Asdog then, if he stays within a touch of Matt, he can use the slipstream there to his advantage then, perhaps. And now then, as Fizzy is still out there on it in 20 lap mode, hard tyres, and Mason is through, past and into 11th position then, and now Mason is 2.1 seconds back at the moment there from Brown. Can he get some points on the board then? And look, Timmy there is back in DRS centre, Frisky. There's Matt in the background, 1.5 seconds the gap is now, and it's coming down quite quickly, isn't it? And Frisky has got past Val. Val is dropped down into 5th position now, of course, and he is on very old hard tyres. He doesn't need to come in the pits. Val doesn't, because he did start on the medium tyres, I think, or did he start on the softs? I can't remember, but all I know is he doesn't need to change tyres. But look at this, and he's gonna be very, very slow towards the end of this race, isn't he? As he would be looking after those tyres, he would just be tiptoeing around the rest of the circuit. It's a high abrasive track. This is for tyres, isn't it? So Val is going to very much be in the unknown territory now, isn't it, in terms of his strategy. On board then we've got Double, who's also cut up behind Fizzy as well. Then Fizzy, I wonder if he'll be thinking about putting on the hard tyres then. The soft tyres at the in the final stop then for Fizzy then, and so let's see what he could do then with a set of soft then. Well, Matt at the moment there is really lighting up the track, isn't he? He needs to get by down the straight, and he does indeed. Then he is still within the he's still just outside the DRS at the moment, 4/10 of a second to be precise, and which is quite a bit. It's quite a lot of time in the world of Formula 1, isn't it? Double is as into the pits, there comes Fizzy then, who's ended his nightmare stint on those hard tyres, hasn't he? Fizzy hasn't. I think that Fizzy might need a safety car or something like that then to get anything out of this Grand Prix. It's not there, but Fizzy's on the soft tyres now to the end of the race then. Timmy there is 8/10 of a second back in the row there. There he is then. We got Frisky in 4th position, Timmy in 5th, and Matt is in 6th position. 1.1 seconds separates. Asdog has got past Val as well, and moved up into 7th position, and Val is now got, I think that the gap he's going to be looking at now is the 8.2 second gap. Then can he limp home? Oh no, he can't. He's got puncture. Val's got puncture, and he's took those hard tires far too long. Then look, the front left tire he's blown a gasket there. Oh goodness me! Then major gremlins there, and he is going to oh dear, look at that. The front left tire is flat. It's flat as a pancake there. Oh goodness me! Then he's coming in the pits, and Val is then. So that gap then that he was looking at, and this is a nightmare scenario for the Williams team now. As Val then was as we already mentioned, there he's in the unknown territory, wasn't he? The Williams driver was, and now he's pushed it just too far over, hasn't he? And unfortunately, because of that, then he's going to have to come in the pits, and Didier and Val is going to be very disappointed with that. So he's in the pits, and so the hard tyres have done about 19 laps, which is quite a good innings around here. But unfortunately, we got a Haas car off the circuit, and I think it's Gaz. It is Gaz, is it? Gaz has come a cropper at the chicane then. We've got Val then just coming in the pits as well then, so he's going to be on the soft tyres now to the end of the race then for the Williams team. What a shame there for Val then, as he was limping along for the best part of a lap there. He comes out of the pits now. We got the oh goodness me, is Gaz there. He's got a 10-second penalty for exceeding track limits there. So major problems there for Gaz and the Haas there, unfortunately. And now to go back to Steve, who's 6 seconds in front of T. Stanley. Roscoe is 1.2 seconds back now. He's really been absolutely flying out there, hasn't he? We've now got look, there's Matt in the background. He's still just outside the DRS zone at the moment. Adam saying that Phineas's comments earlier on in the Grand Prix, I think it was between Timmy and Matt, wasn't it? As Adam was saying, and Matt is coming into contact with another car. Shocker. We've also got Jan saying Matt is flying. Come on, Matt. We've also got Sam Carter saying hello, good evening, Sam Carter. And I hope you enjoyed we're enjoying the coverage so far. Haas car Gaz is out of the race, I should say. And that's that's a big shame then for Gaz, isn't it? As up to that point, he was doing a quite a decent job. But Matt seems to not a wonderful soft tires starting to go off for Matt, because he's really struggling now to gain that extra couple of tenths. And look at that, he's dropping back. And has he gone to the hard soft tires too early now? Well, this is going to get very interesting now. Listen, look, Matt is now 1.7 seconds back. He's lost an abundance amount of time, hasn't he, down that straight, and also down in that short squirt down into 3 and 4. So one of those hard tires have had some issues. Then we got a Haas of I think it's a Haas of Penny there, just getting out of the way. No, it isn't. It's Gaz's car. He's decided to come onto the track then and cause a bit of a nuisance of itself going down into turn 1. Frisky is going to be trying to fend off Timmy in the remaining couple of laps in the Grand Prix. I think the Matt might be a bit concerned about extending these soft tires for the next 4 laps then or so. We'll find out what we can do. Unfortunately, Val down in 12th position, but of course he was one driver that came across because of the puncture, because he came into puncture territory. But he's 2.4 seconds behind that double, 5 seconds behind Mason. He's got a 7-second gap between himself and Mason and points then perhaps, and so it might not all be off the table just yet. But as we've already mentioned, though, it's going to be a tough task, isn't it? Fizzy also on the soft tires as well. But yeah, Matt is dropping back now. And I think that Asdog is going to be very much rubbing his hands there, isn't he? He might be able to get back into 6th position here. So Matt there is going to be dropping off, and we're just keeping an eye on this battle here. Gap at the front then is still 6.2 seconds. 1.2 seconds between Roscoe and T. Samuel. And it's their battle is really starting to ignite in the final stage of this Grand Prix. Roscoe's got a 3-second penalty, so that is a really thing that might cost him a potential 2nd position here, but a strong performance nonetheless for Roscoe. He has got 8 seconds between himself and Frisky, so he shouldn't lose that 3rd position yet. So it's a podium position there for Roscoe. Absolutely good stuff indeed. After half spinning it as well, but it's a shame there for Roscoe, because he probably could have got 2nd position there. Would he have been able to catch and get the lead here in the Grand Prix France? And I'm not sure if he would have, but it would have been interesting. I think Steve, who's been absolutely mighty again, hasn't he, here in France, and going for a 6th Grand Prix win here tonight. Absolutely good stuff indeed. Double and Val are side by side. Then look, Double on the hard tires. And he's going to have the inside there. Val just Double once again showing it. He's got so much straight line speed there. Oh, Val then is good to speed, cutting the corner there to try and gain a bit of advantage. Then, and now Fizzy up in the 13th position there, and he's trying to have a bit of fun towards the end of this Grand Prix after a very, very hard fought race as well for Fizzy. Here it is Val though. He has got DRS. He has got ERS as well. He is not using the ERS yet. And will he need ERS? I don't think he will. He's going to go up the inside, and look at this, he is through, passes Double, moves over to 11th position. Double dropping down into a 12th, and next target is 8 seconds down the road for Val. I think that's a bit too much of a high task then. So 26 then out of 27 then. Matt is dropping back then. We got yellow flags as well now. I think it's Penny just getting out of the way then. Very good stuff indeed. And I think that Matt is now 2.5 seconds back, and unfortunately the soft tires is just not quick enough anymore, is it? So I think that it's now down to a 2-car battle for 4th and 5th position, and Matt was just about there, but just unfortunately he just ran out of tires with a couple laps to go. So now has Timmy got anything left? He's got a lot of ERS by the looks of what he's got on the steering wheel there, Timmy Hassan. So I wonder, he's doing a lot of harvesting, I feel, to see if he can get Frisky. Unfortunately, though, he's dropped out of DRS, but he is back in now. So he's got to, so he's just got to keep it there, because it was a teetering, wasn't it, on staying in or going out there. Luckily, the DRS activation zone is a corner before that, wasn't it? But now then, Timmy is just got to make sure he can stay in it, because when you're out DRS, it's very difficult to get back in there, get back into the DRS zone as we flick into turn number 10 as well. So lap 26 out of 27, Steve leads the Grand Prix by 6.5 seconds from T. Sammy in 2nd position. Roscoe in 3rd position. This will be T. Sammy. T. Sammy's had a lot of seconds this season. He's had 2, 3, 4, 5 2nd positions this season. He's had 6 podiums as well. T. Sammy, he's been very consistent, and that's why he's still within striking distance of Steve. But Steve is just a freight train at the moment, isn't he? No one is stopping him at the moment, Steve. Absolutely magnificent performance indeed there. Once again then from the championship leader, really I think he's really showing the IRC world what he can do. absolutely magnificent, isn't it, from Steve? He showed flashes of brilliance, but at this moment in time, he is very much on a absolute, he's on an absolute cloud nine, isn't he? Steve Magnificent, he's actually extending his lead as well. Oh, Timmy right off the circuit there, really giving it full welly there. Really giving it full welly, wasn't he? But I think to just try and stay in the DRS and to try and keep within distance as well. Matt is now going to be very nervously looking over his shoulder then, because Asdog is coming. 3.3 seconds the gap is. And I think that Matt might just be okay. There he is. Look how far he's dropped off. Matt has in the background. I think that driver of the day might be between Frisky and Matt today. They've had a very strong race indeed, haven't they? We've just come back to the race leader, which is this man here, Steve. As we just mentioned, he's been fantastic today, hasn't he? Look, he's harvesting as well throughout the final part of this circuit. Really good stuff indeed there for Steve. This is going to be his sixth Grand Prix win of the season for Steve. Oh goodness me, I forgot to get my tongue out of the way. PB's got a 3-second penalty, but Steve, this will be his sixth win of the season here for Steve. From pole position to checkered flag, Steve is just absolutely dominated this race, and he extends his lead in the World Championship. Steve wins the French Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff there from Steve. T. Sammy in second position there, and as we already mentioned, this will be his 6th second of the season. Roscoe in third position, a very strong performance there for Roscoe. Rustic as Frisky in fourth position there again. Driver of the day, I would say, with Timmy in fifth, and Matt is going to have a close, very close between himself and Asdog. But Matt is in sixth position now. Seventh position is Asdog. It could have been a bit better for Asdog. Unfortunately, he had a spin, didn't he, at turn 10. Hogg in a very strong eighth position as well there for Hogg. Good stuff indeed. Ninth position. Oh goodness me, very close at this. Look at this. And who's got the red? I think Mason is, and Mason is pinched that final pinch that finish away from Brown. Mason in ninth position, Brown in 10th, and that is crucial in the constructors. Good stuff indeed there from Mason there. Out of the final turn, and just less than 2/10 of a second there at the end of that. That was great stuff indeed then. Oh, amazing stuff, Fed. Very close indeed then. Frisky is very rightly points out, and he's 4/10 of a second away from Roscoe in the end. And so, Roscoe must have more than one penalty. Unfortunately, I don't have one penalty. That just shows how much. That just shows that I need to really pay attention there. Fizzy having a nightmare race in 14th position, unfortunately, and Penny is going to be in the 15th position as well. And so only 15 cars finished the Grand Prix here tonight. But Steve was once again the master of ceremonies, wasn't he? Fantastic. Frisky does get driver today. I have no arguments that. Frisky and Matt had a great drive, didn't they, coming through the field? Good stuff indeed there from both those drivers. And there is Steve then, 6th Grand Prix win of the season, extends in the championship. But T. Sammy is not going anywhere, is he? He doesn't want to. He is not losing his crown without fight, is he? Remember, T. Sammy was second for most of the season last season in the driver standards, but he did come through to win it when it mattered most then. So his aim is to become a triple world champion still, but Steve wants to get his first world championship. This is going to be great, isn't it? With about 12 rounds to go still in the world championship here in IRC. Then final classification then from the French Grand Prix. Steve controlled that race, didn't he? Magnificent stuff indeed there from Steve. Really impressive stuff. T. Salmon, the double world champion, in second in the end. Roscoe did have an extra penalty, and very close then from losing that third position in the end. And Frisky in fourth position, 4/10 was second away, as he mentioned there. Timmy in fifth position, sixth is Matt then. Strong drive for Matt, and he also got fast lap as well. Asdog in 7th, McLaren in 8th and 9th, and they had a great battle, didn't they, Hogg and Mason? Mason pinched away from Brown on the final run, then Brown in 10th, Val outside the points with double. PB, Fizzy and Petty retirements was Maxi, Gaz, Aristix and JJ all retired from this French Grand Prix. And as now then we go into next week then, which is the Mexican Grand Prix then. So we're going down to the party atmosphere of Mexico. I say down, going up actually. It's the highest Grand Prix on the calendar in terms of altitude. So see you next week for more IRC action. Goodbye.